Hey, it's Adler from FM 1021. Night 3 of Big Snow Show, backstage at the Eagles Ballroom with Cold War Kids. Fellas, welcome back.
Hi.
Thank you.
Welcome back. What are we at? 6 months ago is when LA Divine. 6 months ago, LA Divine came out, right? July, something like that.
Sounds good.
Sounds right.
March even,
Was it
so
earlier than that?
more.
Okay,
Yeah.
I am horrible with math.
Hey.
It's bad. What's not bad is the album. I love the album, and it's always interesting. As soon as I saw the tracks, and I'm like, okay, it's like a kind of a Los Angeles, not a love letter, but certainly a LA-centric based album. But anytime that comes about, did you have the songs already written and kind of retrofitted them into LA, or was it the other way around? Was it like it's all about LA?
No, it definitely it's that thing where you start and you go, you wait to see what it's about, and then LA stuff definitely kept coming up, and so you do start to mold it that way once it's
Once it's
revealing itself.
Once it starts taking shape.
Yeah.
Because it's interesting. There's songs that you could strip away the LA part, and I think they'd still work, but that obviously wasn't the plan going in, right?
Yeah, I mean, with music having, it's funny because people love to say is this a concept album?
Yeah,
and
I wanted to avoid that term at all possible. That's a shitty thing.
Well, it is funny because it's I mean, every good album, I guess, has some concept. It has a something that you can sort of point to, a thread that's moving through it.
Something that centers it, yeah.
Yeah, so, and then at the same time, I think, if it's too much that thing, then it's kitschy, or it's so finding that space between having this be about LA and be about relationships and all these things, and at the same time it's there's a lot of things going on there where I remember reading years ago, I think Paul Simon saying something about how you like to write songs in order to kind of not know exactly what they're about, and that there's some mystery in it. And I think that's true for this record for us.
Leave it up to some interpretation.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, Los Angeles, and I was thinking about it coming in here. I guess I've spent 8 or 9, 10 weeks of my life there, so I have an idea. I've been to other parts of it. It's a weird animal of a city.
Yeah.
Because it is not stacked on top of each other. It branches out. And the more you branch out, there's a lot more, not animosity, but it's this is us in Orange County. This is us in anywhere you go. It's not, we're all LA. It's not that kind of unifying. Kind of New York has this, post 9/11, New York has hey, we're all New York. LA is very much get
that's
out of
our
neighborhood.
Great point. Yeah.
And we
It's
worked a
very
lot
separate.
hard in our neighborhood in this area and made it better, and yours sucks. It's
Yeah.
just which I don't think people know. I mean, especially in the Midwest, you just go, oh, LA, it's just nothing but beaches.
Yeah.
Gals and all the things the Beach Boys sing about. You're like, no, it's nothing like that, man. You're like, whatever music you listen to, whether it be, old 60s stuff, rap, whatever, there's an element of division in LA. And now, I think it does reflect it on the album, too, I think, with the songs.
Cool. That's great.
Out.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. That's a really good point. There's a ton of separation. There's, it's everything, and it's definitely not just the how to take an old subject like LA and not make it
Up to date.
hip hop.
Yeah.
There's every kind of thing happening there. So you try to reinvent it a little bit.
Kind of bring it back. After listening to it, do you ever read anything about reviews about albums?
Definitely close to none.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there any one or two people you actually respect their opinion and go, kind of curious what they say? But
I mean, not on this record. I really didn't read anything, which I guess. Yeah, I really didn't read anything, so I don't know.
And I read a few, and I don't even want to talk about them, but they were because they were all over the place. They were all over. But it's funny when somebody brings up Robertson Cowards. When somebody brings up your early stuff and tries to compare it to it, and you're like, that's over 10 years now. In any job you have, anything 10 years ago that you're doing exactly the same way, unless it's a surgeon and you were a very good surgeon 10 years ago and you're still not letting anybody die on the table.
Yeah.
is weird. Don't you agree? I mean,
It is. I think, I guess, I don't know. I think in art there is always that, like, Coppola is always, in 1998 or something,
Yeah,
his film's
yeah.
always gonna man, this isn't as good as The Godfather,
Yeah, exactly.
And I think like, so to pat ourselves on the back, hopefully that means our first record was really good and that people, want,
grab them, have their
yeah,
attention.
yeah.
But it's weird, like when you read reviews and go, what were you looking in writing? Like, did you have to write this review first of all? You're like, did somebody just give you the album and go, review this Cold War Kids album? You're like, it's not as good as the first one. You're like, are you just mental?
I recently looked it up. I don't know why. I have old magazines, and when Violator Depeche Mode came out, I think Rolling Stone gave it 1.5 stars. That's ridiculous. and they said something about like, oh, it doesn't sound like their first record. It's like, it's ridiculous.
And it doesn't go away. That's the weird thing. And now there's just more people reviewing things. But yeah, and it's weird because when you review it, you can go back and look at it years later and go, well, yeah, that guy doesn't write for us anymore. You're like, no. You said it was 1.5 stars, not that dude.
Yeah.
You did. So it's very weird when
It
people
is weird.
want that.
I guess there's something too where like if you're just starting out and you kind of need that, you like a good review actually really helps and can make a big difference.
To push yourself and get you out of your city or get you
yeah,
get you out in the country and touring, I suppose. Yeah, there's
yeah.
that.
And when you are Cold War Kids now in 2017, it's like there is something kind of rad about like a great or a terrible review. Like it doesn't it doesn't affect our life that much, I guess. Like
No.
we do what we do,
Yeah.
we write the songs and record them and tour and like, so there is a sense of, even for us and for our first record and reviews and things like that, as some of them were harsh then, and we were much more, you're more
Sensitive
vulnerable
and
and thin-skinned, and so it does have like kind of a feeling of like, oh man, like are we. Did someone just like kill our career or something?
You start second guessing it. No. The new album is, I love it to death. I think it's cool. That was my only one thought was I just want to know which came first, kind of the city or the songs, I guess.
Yeah.
And that's kind of
Yeah, it's I think the city becomes the backdrop for the songs, and like like I think the song "Invincible" is very much like, I think an LA song, like it's like the idea of being in paradise, and that the violence or the craziness of the world is happening in other places, I feel like is a very LA thing, because there is a lot of turmoil within Los Angeles, but the way that I don't know, I think with the way that the media looks at it and the way that people in any kind of comfortable place look at what's happening in the rest of the world, it's like, oh, it's happening out there.
Yeah, they're not here.
Yeah.
And we're gonna be okay. You're
Yeah.
like, it's like everything moves, everything shuffles.
Yeah.
You guys have always done incredible shows here in Milwaukee, so I'm excited that you guys are back, and have a great show tonight, guys.
Thank you.
very
Thank you
much.
so much.
Right on.
Cool.
Cool.